Hello and welcome to Totum Talks. Today I'm joined by Mona Rangar, Business Services Recruitment Manager at Hogan Lovells. Hi Mona.
Hi James.
Welcome. For BD professionals, why is Hogan Lovells such an attractive firm to work at?
Well, firstly, I think it's a highly respected function. The great thing about the Marketing and Business Development Department is that it is truly supported by the partners. They value it as a crucial function to the success of their business, and they fully support the growth plan. Currently it's being invested in, in addition to a couple of roles that we're recruiting as a result of natural attrition. We do have investment as well, and we are recruiting additional positions, which is a great story to be telling. It's an embedded function, so it doesn't sit separately to the various practice groups and sector groups. They actually sit in amongst the lawyers on a day-to-day basis. They know what's happening, they're up to date, they know exactly, they've got their finger on the pulse, and it's a fantastic opportunity for a marketing and business development professional to get true exposure to some of the best legal minds in the market, in addition to working alongside some very experienced professionals who've come from an array of different professional services organisations, and now also outside of professional services we have started recruiting outside of professional services and law firms, which is a great story to be telling.
It's obviously a very competitive market out there.
It is indeed.
Demands,
I'm sure you know about it as well.
We know only too well.
Yeah.
Demands at an all-time high. I think everyone would agree that the candidate market is not great. What are some of the challenges that you faced when recruiting for BD professionals, and how do you go about trying to overcome some of those challenges?
Our competitors are working very hard to retain their high calibre candidates. It's very difficult to tap into those individuals because they are being looked after, and we can't shy away from that fact.
How do you, when writing job specs for example, or at sort of the interview process, how do you try to differentiate yourselves to the market?
So with regards to job descriptions, it's a tough one. At the end of the day, it's very easy to just churn out a bit of a shopping list of exactly what we want, but we are becoming obviously increasingly aware of the fact that that the candidates out there, especially the ones that we want, need to have a document that's enticing and will inspire them to want to apply to Hogan Lovells. We try and set the position into context so that candidates have an understanding of exactly where their role will sit and what's going on. What are the wider implications of the function they're going to be working in? What does it mean to the firm as a whole? What will their contribution actually mean? Because I think if they can get a sense of how they fit into the picture and how significant their offering is, that will help to inspire them. So this is something that we are spending more time on now, because it's such an essential part of the beginning of the recruitment process.
What about recruitment briefings?
Absolutely, we do briefings for almost every single role that comes live, and the benefit of this approach is that it will give recruiters direct access to the hiring managers, and the hiring managers can explain the context of the role in more detail, and I guess it's the follow-on from the job description, in that they can explain the sort of individual and personality type, which is so important. Personality and culture fit is just as important as having experience in X, Y, and Z at Hogan Lovells, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, the briefing serves as a forum for an open discussion. So I tend to facilitate the discussion. I encourage questions back and forth between the hiring managers and the agents so that they get a true sense and an understanding of what's absolutely fundamental in this role. But also it's an opportunity for agents to push back on hiring managers, where hiring managers may be describing the sort of individual and skill set that they want, but to hear it from the horse's mouth that actually this individual does not exist, or it might be difficult for whatever reasons, why not think about an alternative solution? Having that forum and having that direct dialogue from the outset can really help facilitate the recruitment process more quickly, because they know exactly where they stand.
So how do Hogan Lovells differentiate themselves in the market?
Well, I think that anybody joining Hogan Lovells will be guaranteed that they will need to take real ownership of their careers. I think one of the benefits to joining our organisation now is that we are lucky enough to have a fantastic CEO, Steve Immelt, and he is all about ensuring that we recruit and retain and develop very creative minds, and business development and marketing are central to that objective. At the end of the day, we're a very forward-thinking organisation. Under Steve's strong leadership, we deliver. We don't just talk about what we want to do. A couple of the change initiatives that are happening at the moment are incredibly exciting, because it means that we're really empowering our employees to work in the way that they want to. So, for example, we have a new agile working policy, which means that people can work flexibly. We have a fantastic citizenship agenda. That's our way of saying CSR. And we've actually got a target that all employees should do 25 hours of citizenship work a year, because it's very important to us. Being known in the market as a socially responsible business is of the utmost importance to us, and it's not just about ticking that box. The benefit of doing that means that our employees are better rounded individuals, they have better honed business skills, and they can talk about a multitude of things, and most importantly, our clients like that about us. And I think the other thing to mention is that under Steve's direction, he's taken a real practical interest in a way that I haven't seen before in a lot of these initiatives. He actually wants to hear about the success stories, and he wants to promote them in a positive way, and he wants to ensure that, I suppose, from a marketing and business development perspective, if you are an individual who wants to unleash their creative talents, then this is the place to be.
Absolutely, and it certainly sounds as though there's lots of interesting things going on at Hogan Lovells at the moment.
Yeah, there certainly are.